Welcome back to
Hello.
Viscera Cleanup Detail?
Yeah, I think that was right.
Viscera?
Viscera.
Viscera.
Yeah. Which I think means something like blood or guts or something.
Oh yeah? I didn't realize that there was... I thought it was like the company name.
No, it's actually got a meaning to it.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Today I learned.
I can't remember what the meaning is though. Oops.
Oh. Okay. So, last time you were talking about haircuts.
Oh yeah. Which is not my normal. Oh. Okay. Oh no, we got it.
Oh, is this water dirty?
Yeah, I think mine must be as well.
Oh, it is. Darn it. Ah, where's the... We do throw this in the incinerator,
Yeah, we throw
right?
these in the incinerator.
Alright. But, yeah, so I currently, as people know if they... Oh, there's a freaking body part. Know if they've seen me in the live stream stuff, then they know that I have very short hair right now, but that wasn't always the way with me.
Uh-huh.
Up until maybe a year ago, I actually had very long hair, and like it would go past my shoulders type of long hair.
Right.
And I also had like serious mutton chops. I had a lot of people calling me Wolverine.
Right.
Or Logan, or of the like.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what made you go low maintenance?
Well, that wasn't my, like, I had that haircut for, is it? Yeah, it is. I had that haircut for maybe 5 years. And before that, I was, I'd always had a shorter haircut, right? But this is the shortest I think that I've been in a very long time. And the reason, yeah, I went from like really long and lots of work to really short and no work because work is bad. Yeah, it was fun for a while, but then I got tired of it.
Yeah, that's the because I have a very low maintenance hairstyle, but it's the drying. Oh god, when my hair gets wet, it takes 3 hours to dry.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, so I do actually have an understanding of that, because I've done the long, so I understand it's horrible. Yeah. And you don't want to do it.
Yeah, but it's kind of worth it. Because it does have, I suit long hair.
What? I feel like I'm still making footprints when I thought that I was done making footprints over here. No? Okay. Oh, no, there's one there.
Yeah, the blue blood it's difficult to see.
It is, yeah.
And the water gets dirty, and that's difficult to tell as well.
I know, I actually look at the end of my mop to see if it's dripping.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we also learned that we need to do, like, the walls last time, which we didn't think about. Like, in the weirdest places. So I'm gonna just give it all a good once over, just in case, even if it doesn't look dirty.
Yeah, there's blood on the ceiling here.
Oh, the ceiling too, right. Stinking thing. Let's see here. What can we talk about this time? We need a... Is this dripping? Is this dripping? We need a story. Story time.
Okay, story time. I can tell you a vaguely amusing story about a thing I did once upon a time as part of a job. And it was an interesting job. I was contracted. I was working for a local authority, So I was doing a job for a local authority where I was developing emergency plans. So
When you say local authority, that's kind of like government?
Local government. So
Local government.
your local councils. I don't know what the equivalent is in Canada. So it would be like
we use similar words. I just wanted making sure that I was understanding.
Yeah. So it'd be like the city office I was working for, and oops. I'm trying to decide which bit to go to next. Well, we need to go down this way, don't we? Because that's where the
yeah, we keep tracking in from this thing.
So I'll start picking up bits.
I keep going the wrong way with my...
Yeah, and my job was to develop emergency plans, working with the police and fire people, and like looking at things like how do you evacuate a city, and what if there was a chemical spillage? How do you evacuate a neighborhood? Or what if there was a big flood? What do you do with the local prison? Down to things like working with the railway companies to look at what happens if there was an incident on the railways. Oh yeah, this body's in bits. And I went to... I've not long been involved in this, and it's very interesting because you get to play war games. So I would go to exercises where we would simulate something like a train crash, and we'd all sort of practice our plans, because each sort of different bit of the organisation, so each individual organisation would be responsible for a different thing, and by simulating something like a train crash, you could make sure that all the plans had worked together. And there was one time I got invited to it was a very high level exercise where it was like every single organisation in the city had been invited along to this thing, and it was being hosted by the police force, and it had things like even the intelligence services had turned up for this one for them to check their plans. And it was really bizarre because everybody turned up in uniform, and it was like the craziest fancy dress party you've ever seen, because the ambulance guys turned up and they were dressed in paramedics outfits. The police turned up, they were in police uniforms. The fire brigade turned up and they were in their like sort of firemen's outfits. There was prison warders in the prison warders' costumes. The local authority people wearing like cheap suits, and but what was really funny, and it had me laughing all day, was the intelligence services. They all turned up in black suits and they wore shades indoors. I couldn't keep a straight face looking at them. It was just like, I couldn't believe they could be so cliched about it.
Number 9. Oh man. Oh, Q. One guy's name was Q or something like that, right? Q and P. Q and P. It's getting dirty.
There we go. Yeah, that was.
Oh, I think my water is dirty.
That was an interesting job to do, because you really got to sort of look at how a city functions.
Oh yeah.
And so because you need to know how things work to understand how they break, and then if they do break, how you put them back together again.
Oh yeah. Well, my father actually was the director of emergency management in my province here in Canada.
Are you kidding me?
No, so he knows all about that stuff.
Yeah,
He's talked about a little bits of things,
Yeah.
you know, since he could talk about obviously with me.
Yeah, that's it. Because there is only so much that you can talk about.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of funny that that was his job. He was actually in the military.
Right. Oh yeah, because that was the other people who turned up as well. We had the army there.
Yeah.
And they were in their army fatigues. It was fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. Whoop. Yeah. Aha! Whoop. There is. I think this little corner, like where our incinerator is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're doing all right there now, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm gonna let's get these. Make sure I don't know if I got all of these crates and stuff too, but yeah. Whoop 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 whoop. Dirty. Whoa. I guess here I'll try a story. I guess. I'll tell in my stupid 20s story. How's that?
Oh yeah. I can't tell most of my stupid 20s stories because mostly it's things that people wouldn't approve of.
oh, this is things that people wouldn't approve of, huh?
So
well, now I really want to hear one of your stupid 20s stories. But yeah, here, I'll tell mine first, and then you can tell one of yours.
I can't tell you one of mine. Go on.
You can't tell me yours. Oh man, I really want to know now. Maybe when we're off camera, you can tell me.
Yeah, I'll tell you some stories when I'm off camera.
But, yeah, so I used to work for a company that was based in the States, but it had Canadian like satellite or Canadian versions of it or whatever, right?
Huh?
And but it was one of these companies that they had like one main office, and that office was in Mississauga, Ontario, which is really close to Toronto, if you know where that is.
Yeah, I've got relatives living out in Toronto.
Yeah, so that's where the main office for all of Canada was. Yeah. And that's the only office they actually had for all of Canada. So me being out west here in the Western Canada, there was actually no place to, like an actual office to go to, right?
Right.
So we worked on site at the client site, basically. And like this is a programmer type job, right? So I'm going in and I'm doing that kind of work. But whoop, almost knocked that over. Don't knock that over. But yeah, so basically every quarter they would gather up every single contractor or whatever for. Well, we were all employees, but we were sent out like contractors. Yeah. And so they would gather everybody in the company back to the Mississauga office every quarter for like info sessions and you know, like that kind of stuff. You know, big powwows, company powwow type thing. Yeah. But they would always do. So we'd all get to fly back there, and we'd have like a big dinner and thing on the Friday night, and then the info session was on the Saturday. And the way that it all went was on the Friday night, everybody got together, and how are you going to get that in there?
I don't know. Can we cut it up somehow, maybe?
I don't know, can you grab it from the front? I wonder if it'll just burn off like that. What happens if I close the door? Pushing.
Maybe if we just walk away. Excellent.
It works, it's gone.
Cool. Well done, Anubis. Sorry, I've knocked all kinds of things over here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so I was, so we fly back on Fridays, and we're there for Friday night, and we have a party, right, basically.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, the company wasn't exactly the most brilliant thinking. It's like, fly everybody in, and let them have a massive party where they all drink far too much.
Yep.
And then try and then they have to get up early the next morning for a all-day info session. Not gonna happen, right? Like, everybody is just totally toasted.
Wasted, yeah.
Totally wasted. Like, still completely, like, some people are still drunk, let alone some, like, I mean, some people are obviously hungover, but some people are still drunk because they just got back to bed like 30 minutes ago or something stupid.
Yeah.
But I got out west here. There was a really small crew of us, and it was spread out between a couple of cities. But we ended up working a lot of projects together.
Yeah.
Where, like, I would spend a majority of my time not in the city I lived in, right? Like, in different cities, and so living out of hotels and all that kind of stuff constantly. So what do you do when you're, living out of a hotel in another city, and the only people you know there are the people you work with? You go out with them, and you drink with them, right? And you have a good time. So these are the people that I know from the West when I go out to these things. And we all, powwow and get together when we're out at this event. And we like to get into mischief and do stupid things. So we're at this, in Ontario, there's a place called Blue Mountain. And it's basically, they call it Blue Mountain, but Ontario has no mountains, so it's basically a hill. But they like to call it Blue Mountain because they don't have any mountains, and they figure they should have one. Yeah. But it's a ski resort. And so it's got some hills and things that people can ski down.
Yeah.
But it's the spring. And there's another big ass tentacle over here. So the snow is kind of half melted. There is big skill hills with like pockets of snow, pockets of ice, pockets of exposed dirt that's frozen ground, right? All the way up the side of this hill. And we were walking, like, the way that this was set up is we were walking through, like, it was all outside, like all of the stuff, and so there was a dinner party inside, and then we had to walk outside to get to where they're doing the bar and everything. The bar was outside. Yeah. And so we're walking down, and we're walking past the ski hill, and as we walk past, we see the ski hill, and we go, oh my goodness, it would be so fun to slide down that. So we're looking around for something that we can sit on and go down the hill with, right? And we're looking around and we see some garbage cans.
Oh yeah.
Which have and they're empty, like there's nothing in them, but they've got bags, like they've got actual garbage bags in them, right? But they're freshly cleaned and all that jazz because they were all cleaned out before we showed up. And so we're stealing garbage bags out of these garbage cans so that we can use them like slip and slides down the stupid hill.
Yeah. How old were you again?
Oh, at this time I'm not that young actually. So I'm 26, I think, at the time.
Yeah. Oh no, that's okay.
So young, but not like super early 20s. Like old enough in my 20s that I probably should have known better, but whatever.
Yeah.
So we go to grab these plastic bags.
Yeah.
And then as we're grabbing them and we're like emptying them out of the garbage can, I look over and I see a building off to my right, and I look and I go, oh, it's like the what is it? Like the serving area, right? So there's a whole bunch of it's all closed up, and it's like a kitchen / serving area. Like where they have all of the stuff for I'm saying the wrong word. I don't actually mean a serving area, but I mean like storage of serving stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a whole bunch of trays in there. Like darn it. Like serving trays. They're big, massive round serving trays. They're plastic.
Perfect for sledging with.
Yeah. So I see these from across the way, and I and the other two guys, they're like, oh my god, yeah, and so they're egging me on to go run in there and get them, right? Because it's all closed up. We're not supposed to be in there. So I'm like, whatever. So I run in, and as I'm running in, one of the guys starts humming really loudly the Mission Possible theme. So that's going off. Oh, there's my timer. I set up the timer. That was 20
very
minutes.
Good. Well,
So you guys will have to hear the rest of the story in the next episode. It's what's the word?
shortly.
A spoiler or not a spoiler? I can't remember.
Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger. Thank you. So we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.